Aptis Speaking Practice Test 1 Sample B1 Answers. I'm going to ask you 3 short questions about yourself and your interests. You will have 30 seconds to reply to each question. Begin speaking when you hear this sound. Please tell me about your hobbies.
I've always loved reading, especially fantasy books like The Lord of the Rings. I've read all the Harry Potter books too. I also play tennis in a local club every Wednesday and Saturday. I've won several tournaments and I'm playing in a match this weekend. I love all sports and I think I'll try basketball next year.
Please tell me about your last holiday.
Oh, it was great. We went to the coast for 2 weeks and stayed at the best hotel I've ever been to. We were very lucky because the weather was fantastic. I spent the day with my friends on the beach, swimming and playing beach volleyball, and in the evenings we went out to eat at local restaurants and then went for a walk along the coast.
Please tell me about your favourite actor.
I think Leonardo DiCaprio. He's a brilliant actor and he's very good looking too. He started acting when he was very young. I think he was about 10 years old. He's acted many different parts in very different films and he's always good. I've seen Titanic 4 times and I cry every time. But I didn't understand Inception.
In this part, I'm going to ask you to describe what is happening in a picture. Then I will ask you 2 questions about it. You will have 45 seconds for each response. Begin speaking when you hear this sound. Make sure you answer as fully as possible. Describe this picture.
This photo shows a classroom and I think the children are learning Spanish because there's a calendar on the wall with the days in English and Spanish. It's probably a primary school because the children are about 4 or 5 years old. They're all sitting on the floor and listening to the teacher. There are lots of toys and books on shelves in the classroom and all the colours are very bright.
What is a typical school day for most students in your country?
Most students start school at about 9 o'clock. They do 2 or 3 classes, then it's time for a break when they can have a snack or a second breakfast. They do some more classes and usually finish school at about 2:30. Some students have their lunch at school and others go home to eat. There are often sports or dance or other fun activities in the afternoons too.
How have schools changed since you were a child?
In my opinion, teachers were stricter when I was at school. We never sat on the floor. We sat at desks and the classroom was more formal. Students have less homework now. And school subjects have changed too. Now children learn about technology and often have tablets or computers. There weren't many computers at my school. We nearly always used books.
In this part, I'm going to ask you to compare two pictures, and I will then ask you two questions about them. You will have 45 seconds for each response. Begin speaking when you hear this sound. Tell me what you see in these two pictures.
Well, in the first photo you can see a market where you can buy lots of things. Fruit and vegetables, and there are melons, pears, tomatoes, also clothes, shoes, hats. There's a man selling fruit and a mother with her child. I think it's in Europe because the price is in euros. The second photo shows a shopping centre. You can see a lot of clothes shops and there are people shopping.
Why do people choose to shop in each of these places?
I think people choose markets for food because the fruit and vegetables are fresh and often cheaper too. But supermarkets are easier and quicker. People go to shopping centres because they can buy everything there and parking is easy. There's a better variety of shops and more clothes to buy. And when the weather's bad, it's better to be indoors.
Which place do you prefer to shop? Why?
Well, I prefer shopping malls because they're good places to go with my friends. It's not only the shops. You can also have an ice cream, a coffee or an ice cream and hang out together. It's easy too because all the shops are there. And I think it's safer than shopping in markets. But I don't really like doing my shopping in very big supermarkets because there are always too many people waiting to pay.
In this part, I'm going to show you a picture and ask you 3 questions. You will have 1 minute to think about your answers before you start speaking. You will have 2 minutes to answer all 3 questions. Begin speaking when you hear this sound. Look at the photograph. Tell me about a time when you had to wear something different or special. How did you feel about it? Do you think fashion has too much importance in our lives? You now have 1 minute to think about your answers. You can take notes if you want. You now have 2 minutes to talk.
I had to wear a special dress when I went to my friend's wedding because I was one of the bridesmaids. The dress was long and green and very beautiful. It was expensive too, and I had to pay for it. I felt strange because I usually wear jeans and t-shirts, so I didn't feel very comfortable. But the wedding photos were good. Sometimes I think fashion is too important in our lives. Everyone wants to dress like famous people, and they spend a lot of money on clothes. People read fashion magazines and want to copy the models. But most of the clothes they advertise are too expensive for normal people. I think that can be a big problem for young people because they don't have much money. I like fashion, but I wear clothes because I like them and because they're comfortable, not because they're fashionable. In my opinion, that's more important.
If you like the video, then please subscribe to our channel. Leave a like, comment or a question and we will aim to answer you as soon as possible. You can find more information here on our website at www.aptistutor.com.